Charlie here yet again, and I'm here with Dave and Kyle. Well, you can't see my finger, Kyle, right there. And we are here to discuss Around the Wire. So we're going to take a look at some of the top headlines of the news that have gone on over the past 2 weeks. We're going to give you our thoughts, our analysis, where we think things stand from a wrestling perspective and the wrestling business angle. Again, as I told you, we would never do reviews, but no one's saying that we can't cover the news. So let's get started. The first topic that I want to discuss is something that's been going on in WWE, and you could start to see it. The glorious Bobby Roode is in a new tag team with Chad Gable, which sounds like boring, sharpening, boring, but there might be an interesting catch that it's building towards. So rumor has it that the WWE is about to sign the Cowboy James Storm. And pair Chad Gable with James Storm. And then the backside of that is that when they break up and Beer Money happens, Jason Jordan is going to come out and rescue Chad Gable to start a feud between American Alpha and Beer Money. So, guys, first off, congratulations. WWE, you deserve a fucking round of applause. Thank you for a good idea once in a while.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What do you guys think of that story?
If that's what happens, if that's what happens, I'm good. I'm totally good with that. When I saw James Storm at StarCast, he was looking like he was getting ready for a WWE debut. He was in shape. Yep. So, if that's any insight on that, he looked like he could debut. He wasn't looking heavy. He was looking toned up. I could see him showing up soon.
The only thing the only problem I have with it is that I don't want to see it so watered down. I don't want a watered down Beer Money.
Who wants watered down beer?
You know what I mean. You know how I want them to be edgy, how they were, how they have always been. You know, that edgy tag team. You know what I mean? Not like what they did with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
I think they're in a good position, and I'll tell you why. In a better position than what they did with the poor Good Brothers. I think they're in a good position because WWE is starting them out in a feud. When the Good Brothers came over, they kind of were just like, hey, here's these awesome guys from Japan, and they came and they helped Styles. They basically came to WWE in story how they came to WWE in real life. The story of how the Good Brothers signed was AJ Styles was like, yo, you got to sign my boys. And they did.
Pretty much.
Right? And what was the story? They came out to help AJ. Right? Whereas Beer Money is more an extension of Bobby Roode because obviously they've liked James Storm, but they were going to put him through NXT. But they're thinking, all right, he doesn't need it. Let's bring him up. He's a veteran. He's older. And
he's worked TV for years.
And let's use them to take a young team like American Alpha that we should have never split up in the first place and grow them on the Raw brand. Now that.
But what I didn't understand was they signed him to NXT, but why did he leave?
They never signed them.
He didn't sign. He was just working a couple. It was a possibility he was going to. They debuted, I think, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish right before they signed too, and then signed him after their little one-match debuts.
James Storm actually went back to NXT after that. Went back to Impact Wrestling for a little while after that too.
No, that was weird.
No, I think he was just trying to figure out what he wanted. I think it was like, do I want to just stay at Impact or do I go try the WWE once and see where it takes me? I think Beer Money's a good way to get Bobby Roode back on track because eventually they could split the two of them up. And turn Bobby Roode heel that way or keep him heel. He needs to stay heel. It's obvious that you can't have a glorious asshole that's kissing babies. It's just not something that makes sense. It doesn't work.
But does TNA own the trademark Beer Money?
I don't think TNA cares about their trademarks anymore. I don't think Impact.
I think they're pretty much open to letting all former talent use their TNA names now. They have like a new policy, so
really TNA is almost Impact Wrestling's almost like, and this is the episode where we can do any off chat topics. Impact Wrestling's at a point where they've basically created flexibility for talent, right? That's how they're getting all these guys here. So it's like you could work whatever independent date you want. You could use your gimmicks. Use us as a platform to grow your brand, but you're the brand, not Impact Wrestling, right? That's why Tessa Blanchard is, they're making Tessa Blanchard a big name. But what they've really done is given a bunch of talent that was overlooked. Like Tessa Blanchard should have been signed by WWE. She was not.
She should be in the May. She should be in the Mae Young Challenge.
She was in the first.
She was in the first one.
Yeah, I thought
she should be there again.
I'm so mad that she lost the first round.
Me too. They won't Impact's not letting her. I think you're free to do anything but WWE while you're working with Impact Wrestling. And the reason that Tessa Blanchard didn't sign was actually WWE oversight, because they had heard that she had some issues with some of the girls in the back, that she had an attitude problem. That's the rumor.
I had heard it had to do with an issue at the Performance Center where she showed up, and it was when her and Ricochet split up, and there was some issue that happened.
That could be the attitude problem they're talking about. But,
yeah.
I mean, realistically, end of the day, TNA's giving that flexibility. Beer money could be used on WWE programming, and it would. And they could always do something stupid like call it beer cash, or money, or they could just kind of the Woken universe. They can switch it up a little bit without.
But did they? Tessa Blanchard and Ricochet broke up?
Yeah,
she's dating Daga now from Lucha Underground.
You know what's kind of funny? I love Tessa. I do.
Me too. Yeah. Awesome. So we're up. I
think Tessa Blanchard is more jacked than Ricochet, and she might weigh more too.
Oh, easily.
I mean,
easily.
Damn. All right. So I think we're all in agreement. I love Ricochet, but look at Ricochet and Tessa Blanchard next to each other. And I really want to see their biceps side by side because Tessa might be bigger.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
And I love Tessa B. She ain't nothing to fuck with. It's the truth. Tessa bleeds.
No,
But, so, back to beer money for a second. I think it's a good thing. I think it'll get Bobby Roode featured. I think it makes Look, McIntyre and Ziggler are a temporary solution. The Shield are a temporary solution to help grow the division from underneath them. I think you've got AOP. I think you're going to have American Alpha, and you're going to have Beer Money, and I think that's 3 really solid tag teams to build.
And you have the Revival on Raw also.
That's basically, it's really funny. Bad. The old tag teams graduated to SmackDown, and the new ones are coming up to Raw.
I don't know, man.
I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
Are they going to be heels or faces, Beer Money? Do we know how they're going to do that?
I think it would depend on how the split happens. So, if Chad Gable turns on Bobby Roode, then I could see it being them being the heels and Beer Money being the faces. Inversely, I honestly foresee them probably starting off with Beer Money as the faces because Jason Jordan was going in the direction of a heel anyway, as was Chad Gable.
Yeah.
So, but I think then they turn if you're talking long-term storyline development, I think then they flip Bobby and make him the heel between him and James Storm.
Damn, I think that kid, Chad Gable. I think he could be. He has so much potential.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does. He's great.
I feel like he's gonna be like maybe the next Kurt Angle in WWE.
The problem with him is
he's so good.
I think if he was 5 inches taller, he'd be a champion.
Oh yeah,
and a singles champion. I think that's why they paired him and Jordan to begin with, because Jordan is what you would more think of as the WWE mold. But Gable was the better wrestler. Not that I'm saying that Jason Jordan's bad, because he isn't. But
he reminds me of Shelton Benjamin. I don't know why.
Chad Gable reminds me, as good as he is of a wrestler, as that small jacked little kid that used to get picked on all the time in high school, right? That it was I'm going to pick a fight with you, and I'm angry, and blah, 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 blah. Again, we've all been bullied, all of us in our life, so I'm not picking on him like that. But he reminded me of that 5-foot kid that was doing the bullying. That's what I get from his personality or how it comes across on TV. So, I mean, it works with him as a heel. I think if they're going to make him an eventual Kurt Angle, he's got to get a little bit more.
You know what they should try to make him?
What?
That kid could be a potential. They dropped the ball already with Ziggler. He could be like this. You know when Shawn Michaels was in that that period where he was right before DX became the hottest shit ever.
Okay,
and he was in that.
I'm sorry to tell you this, Dave. I agree and disagree with you. I think he has
the
potential
that
to be
bad boy,
someone.
I guess, whatever you want to call it.
I think he has the potential to be someone. I don't think it's Kurt Angle. I don't think that it is Shawn Michaels. I think both of them are amazing athletes. I think that there's only one man currently in all of WWE programming that has the potential to be the next Shawn Michaels. And I'm going to say his name, and both of you are going to have the same reaction. It's Adam Cole.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You didn't have the reaction. What are you guys doing? It's Bebe. Come on. I said Adam Cole.
Yeah, of course. No, I just thought.
So Adam Cole is the next show.
Adam Cole is obviously the next. Unless Vince has a huge issue with his size.
I don't think he does.
I don't see how they don't use him right.
And at
that point, I think he'll be cycled out of I think Vince will be fully off and focused on his football league, and Triple H will take over, and Adam Cole will. I think the Undisputed Era and Adam Cole are going to run WWE for a long time. I will say that, to your point, Dave, he does have a lot of future. He's not Kurt Angle, but he is Chris Benoit.
Oh, we don't want to go there.
Oh, I like that.
He's Chris Benoit in the ring, not in his house.
Okay, I know.
Okay.
I was a bit, before all that happened, I was a huge Benoit fan.
But you know that I've tried every angle to prove that it wasn't Chris Benoit? That's how much I love Chris Benoit. I'm like watching conspiracy videos just going, where did the beer cans come from?
I can't believe
it.
What?
They
was it Kevin Sullivan? That's right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Was it Sullivan?
Yeah.
No, but hey, listen, man, we gotta give his props. Like, that's a topic. You know, Jericho blocked me because of that.
Yeah, you don't talk about Benoit with Jericho.
No, you don't.
No. He posted some shit about Chris Benoit. I don't know. He posted some shit about Chris Benoit, right? And then he was like, they asked him about if they thought that Chris Benoit should be in the Hall of Fame, and he said no. So I got like thinking about it as a wrestling, like a wrestling fan, whatever, a mark. I was like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. He's supposed to be your best friend. How you not gonna fight for to have him in the Hall of Fame?
It's your best
regardless
friend
of whatever. Regardless of whatever. Hold on. Regardless of whatever he did, there you have. First off, you have Scott Hall in the Hall of Fame, who killed a man, killed a person, has been, he's had his trials and tribulations.
Was he convicted of that crime?
No.
I don't remember.
It was self-defense.
Allegedly. You can't, that's...
No, it was self-defense
I'll tell you exactly why Scott Hall is in the Hall of Fame. Scott Hall is in the Hall of Fame because there's a certain faction called the Clique, and all of them are getting into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Morally, they don't want to put him.
They don't want to put Benoit in the Hall of Fame because it doesn't make them look good. How do you put a baby killer in the Hall of Fame? It's the same reason they don't put Chyna in the Hall of Fame because she was a porn star. It's all
the same way. The same way you shouldn't allow Jimmy Snuka in the Hall of Fame.
They just won't. They look at themselves as a PG product, and they're not going to put anybody that makes them look bad in the Hall of Fame. That doesn't exist. It's a fake institution. So we've gone really off segue.
Until they get this building. Oh, I was going to ask you on a news thing, guys. Did you see what guys in Undisputed Era were posting about recruiting new people?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I saw Adam Cole post that they might be recruiting somebody or looking to expand.
So who do you think it could be? Do you think it's
outside? That's what I was going to say. I don't know. I really have no idea who it could be.
I could only think the position that would make sense would either be a valet, a female of some kind, or a enforcer, because that's the only thing that the group's missing. If it's
I think they need like a big man with it.
I agree with you, Dave.
You know who would have been perfect for that group?
Who?
McIntyre.
Yes. I think that in NXT currently, you have 3 options. Anybody want to guess what my 3 are?
Well, I was going to...
Don't say Cassius. Oh, no.
No.
Okay. I was going to say Riddle.
That would be one. Riddle's attitude fits.
And that's who they're looking like they're hinting at, is what I can tell is Riddle.
Riddle's attitude fits. His demeanor fits. That cooler-than-life, larger-than-life personality fits. So Riddle is one of my 3. Next.
Dijak.
There it is. Dominic Dijak came over with them at the same time. Actually, Donovan, whatever you want to call him, but came over with them at the same time. Yeah, fits the bill. Sure. It was actually promoted originally that he was going to be part of the Undisputed Era. Yep. So that would make sense. And there's one other guy who could work.
Ooh.
Big man?
Big man.
What's the guy's name? The one that looks
Keith
like
Lee.
Keith Lee's the only other guy. I don't think he fits, but he's the only other big man that would fit from.
No,
NXT.
what about the other guy? The one that looks like Zangief. I forgot his name.
Baba Tungo.
Baba Tungo.
What was his name?
That's worse than like okay.
Damn, I forgot his name. Bro.
Yeah, I think is.
But he's right. It's Baba something.
Yeah, Baba Tunde.
The big. Is it that guy? The Russian guy?
Yeah, I think it is. I think we should just go back. Bald. I think for the first time, I'd like to see Group have like a midget enforcer. I think that would be so much cooler.
I like the idea of having a valet personally.
A valet would work with them too.
Woman to the group would work.
But who in NXT would work? That fits their attitude and their demeanor. Because a lot of the girls in NXT right now are more
I don't think.
That's true. There's not really a girl that fits.
Yes, there is. Oh my God! Why didn't I think of it?
Who?
Purrazzo.
Shayna Baszler? I think Baszler.
Deonna Purrazzo, the virtue.
I can hear you, Charlie.
Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuoso. Yeah. She would fit.
Yeah, she would fit. She would totally fit.
Even wrestling style wise, she's a.
You know who else? You know who else could fit that as a valet? If she gets signed by WWE, hopefully she does, because they've been boasting a lot about her. Mercedes Martinez.
Never seen her work.
She was in the first Mae Young Classic. She's been around for a while.
I know who you're talking about now. All you have to do is say she's been there a long time. I know who she is.
Yeah. I don't see her really fitting Undisputed.
I think Undisputed Era is like a Bullet Club extension almost.
How I view him too. So I'm not gonna lie.
I think Purrazzo
she's like that. She's like that Shayna Baszler badass.
I don't think.
I'm a bad bitch.
So here's the thing. I don't think badass when I think Undisputed Era. I think fucking cool, right? When you think Undisputed Era, you don't think like these are the guys that are coming and whip everyone's ass. They're not. That's not who they are. They're awesome submission wrestlers that are grapplers. I mean, if you look at it from start to bottom, you've got Adam Cole, who is the next Shawn Michaels. You've got Bobby Fish, who him and Kyle O'Reilly as Red Dragon should be a fixture in WWE's tag team division for like 10 to 15 years. Kyle O'Reilly maybe takes a mid-card title at one point, or eventually Undisputed Era breaks up, and you've got a great, battle between Cole and O'Reilly.
Built in.
And then if you add a Deonna Purrazzo, it puts her star up a little bit, because right now the mainstream audience doesn't know who she is. If you've been following the independents, you know who she is. But, I think that's
exactly.
I think if you're going to look for someone that goes into Undisputed Era, it's someone that has to benefit from the exposure of being with them. Matt Riddle gets the benefit of learning from a group of seasoned professional wrestlers, so it makes sense. Dijak comes from...
I like Riddle, and he's a little bigger than those guys, so he adds a little muscle to it.
And size-wise, muscular, so much bigger.
Yeah.
I
think Riddle works.
I've never seen Matt Riddle's work in the ring. I've seen his UFC thing.
Dave, go on YouTube after we're done recording tonight. Go to Google Cody Rhodes versus Matt Riddle.
Oh, that's a good one.
From a What Culture Pro Wrestling. It was a really good match.
I'll check that out.
All right, so
I've never seen him wrestle before.
So I think
I've seen his UFC stuff, but
his chant is fucking amazing. The entire crowd, bro. It's all.
Yep. It's good.
So the next piece here is, and this might be a little dated, it might not be, but I still want to talk about it. There has been rumors that the Lucha Brothers themselves, Pentagon Dark, Pentagon Junior, Pentagon, whatever you want to call him, that he calls himself next week, and his brother, who has been probably deemed the most popular luchador out there right now in Phoenix.
I love Phoenix.
And you've got both of them coming to the WWE. What do you guys think
Why is that? Why do you think they're trying to lure them into the WWE thing? Do you think is it because they're going to pair them with Rey Mysterio if he comes back, if he ever signs with WWE?
I'll give you one word. Merchandise.
Yep. They'll sell masks.
They want to sell masks. They want to sell T-shirts. Also, since Alberto Del Rio left, they haven't really had a Latin Central American draw, and they're trying to be a global company. So yes, they have Andrade Cien Almas now, who probably will be a SmackDown champion. As a matter of fact, I hope
that guy is awesome.
I hope he takes the title from Styles. I hope he's the guy to do it. You do that at WrestleMania, have Almas win the Royal Rumble, or have him win some sort of qualifier, and then let Almas take it from Styles at WrestleMania. There's a booked main event. But in terms of that's it. Sin Cara's nothing. The Lucha House Party is a joke. They took a guy like Rametz Ali, who has so much talent, and literally paired him with two other guys and buried him in a 6-man tag when they don't have a 6-man tag belt. So I
think they should do that because they have a lot of trios.
What if they did like a cruiserweight trios title?
There's not enough. There's no set teams. What I would like them to do is a cross-brand 6-man title like they planned on doing with the women's tags, and make it so that NXT, Raw, and SmackDown could all defend those belts, because then it gives you a glimpse of things, right? So like NXT, like the Undisputed Era could go against the Shield. The Undisputed Era could go against the New Day. The New Day could go against Lucha Underground, right? It creates more. They could even do a 6-man program if they wanted to on the WWE Network, where they build up. This is asking too much of WWE, but they build up hype and create a program around 6-man tag matches. It'd be better than the fucking mixed match challenge.
They can even do like
what?
We should propose this idea to WWE.
Dude, I've sent letters to Vince McMahon. It doesn't work.
But not sending letters. Let's tell them. Listen, we have some creative ideas. You should hire us and let us do this.
Listen, Vince McMahon, you don't need fucking soap opera writers. Get your head out of your asshole, all right? Your head is so deep up your own ass that you walk like you have 80-pound balls. Let's hire a couple of fans to really do this stuff, all right? Let's do it that way.
Do it.
Seriously.
But realistically, I think...
I was just going to say with the trios titles, what if you even did like a cruiserweight classic type of show, but kind of like rip off Chikara, do a trios tournament to crown the champions, and then give the show.
They get a whole new network of programming. It's great.
Yep.
But I want to come back to the original topic of conversation for a second, and then I want to go to belts actually too. So I have excitement and fear over the news that they might sign. My excitement is I love Pentagon and Fenix as much as I enjoy watching them on Impact. Some of Pentagon's potential matchups in WWE are exciting. Seeing Pentagon versus like a Dean Ambrose would probably be just as good as him versus Callihan was, if not better. Seeing him versus Rollins would be as good as him versus Omega was. Those are probably two comparables. So I like the idea of Penta being there. Fenix, I think his style gets lost in WWE because they don't allow him to reach his full capability. And that's really where my fear comes in. You have two guys that are experts at what they do, and then you're going to take them to a company to literally sell their mask. And
a company where they don't do any of what these guys do.
Yep. I mean, I think...
And that's the bad part.
I think...
That's the bad part, because if you take them... Go ahead, Charlie.
No, I was just going to say, I think Penta translates better to WWE than Phoenix does, but still, you're going to lose something from both of them.
You're going to lose a little bit of the hardcore stuff in Penta, because they don't do light tubes and other crazy stuff like we had with Callihan.
Yeah.
I think they'd be great in NXT.
Yeah, but then eventually they have to come up to the main roster. Yep.
No, but NXT is more edgier, so they could get away with more stuff. But this is my thing. When they get to the main roster, when they get a SmackDown, when they get a Raw, what the fuck are they going to do with Pentagon?
That's it.
They're not going to let them do all those... That shit, like, they're not going to let him have a match like he had with Kenny Omega.
No.
It's not going to happen in WWE.
They need to stay on the course, right? I think the Indies is headed in a really good direction, but it can't lose certain talents. They realize that they all need to work together to be competitive. Callis is smart enough to realize that. And they realize, look, at Impact, we have 3 or 4 big stars. Ring of Honor, we've got 5 or 6 big stars. New Japan, we have about 10 big stars. Let's pull those together, and then we can make a run at WWE. And it's working. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, I think you go to WWE programming, unless you're 1 or 2 rare specific cases, you're going to get lost. Those guys will get lost.
Yeah,
I feel like, you know who I feel like is in that about to get lost?
Who?
Section or Cloud, whatever you want to call it. EC3.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been worried about that since the ladder match for the North American title.
They have, like, he was such a, I don't understand, though. He's been to WWE twice already. Mm-hmm. When he leaves WWE the first time, he goes to Impact, and he's top line man, having, all the main events with everyone there. And then he comes back to WWE with this, and it's like he can't connect. I don't understand.
Double issue there. They put him in matches with people that they couldn't afford to allow lose, right?
Yeah.
So they put him in a match with the Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream's on an upward swing. You can't have Velveteen lose. They put him in a match with, who was his first match? Ricochet?
Yeah.
Ricochet's on an upward swing. Can't have Ricochet.
Yeah, he's North American champ now.
NXT is starting to move into a WWE pattern where they've acquired so much talent that it's hard for them to find people to lose to. So EC3 had the unfortunate problem of losing his first 2 or 3 feuds. The only thing I could think
he came in at a time, too, when they had a lot of people signed right away.
Yep, and you had Ricochet. It was also built behind, let's face it, the backbone of NXT right now is Johnny Gargano and Tomasso Ciampa. That's it. Yep. So unless you're those 2 guys, you're going to have some issues. Now, I think they purposely added the North American title for that reason. They knew it was coming. Now there's a mid-card belt for them to feud over while the top strap's being feuded over. They better give Johnny that title quick, though, because the fans are revolting on Johnny because there's too much talent. And actually that segues to a perfect conversation, which is another topic of what I wanted to talk about here. Let's talk about the guy who has dubbed himself the best sports entertainer ever, Tomasso Ciampa.
I was about to say Dolph Ziggler.
This isn't even news. Dolph Ziggler's just #heel and, the show off and all that good stuff. But
that fucking guy, I love that guy.
I love Dolph too. They've done him wrong over the years. For so long.
You know who Tamatanga recruit Dolph Ziggler. I think he should. He would be so great in that fucking.
That's a great piece of news to discuss next. Let's keep that, Dave, so we can come back to that.
Okay.
So let's talk Tomasso Ciampa for a second. So I think they've handled Tomasso Ciampa very well. As part of that, and you guys know that I was at TakeOver in Brooklyn. I don't think Tomasso was supposed to win that match. I think Gargano was supposed to win. He got hurt, and they made a quick win decision to keep the title on Ciampa. Did you see the part where he dove off and he did the knee dive and then he couldn't stand back up? I think he was supposed to stand, and then you saw the ref go over to Ciampa while he was counting, and Triple H confirmed that he changed on the fly the outcome of the match.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did hear that. You're right.
NXT Brooklyn is their WrestleMania. So now where do they go from here? Is Tomasso Ciampa Aleister Black's assailant, or was it Johnny Gargano? What do you guys think?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's going to have to be Ciampa.
They should leave. They should let Ciampa do it, and I want to see that. I don't know, man. That they're both such good wrestlers.
They're amazing,
and one is such a great fucking heel. Damn it!
My thought is, and Dave, you can tell me, Kyle. I see a natural pattern here. NXT goes heel face, heel face, heel face, heel face. They will do, right? Yeah. Aleister Black's not taking the title back from Ciampa. Ciampa's too hot right now. I think it's going to go, very simply, Ciampa, Gargano, Adam Cole.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't even think...
I've been waiting for it.
I don't think Gargano's going to have the title too long because they wouldn't have had Cole drop the title, the North American title, if the heavyweight title wasn't in the works. Yep.
Exactly. That's what I thought they've been trying to get done for a while now.
I think they have been. I don't think Aleister Black was ever supposed to win, period. I think something happened there where they jumped Aleister Black into it. Maybe.
Yeah. I
think he'll lose. He'll have a feud, and then they'll call him up to the main roster almost instantly. Aleister Black.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't even... I think he'd have to...
Where would you want him, though?
I think he's better on SmackDown. I think you can instantly have him come up, feud with Andrade Cien Almas, maybe get a win over him. and then put him against maybe Daniel Bryan or someone like that, you know.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to put him on Raw. He'd get lost so quick.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the mic skills to survive on Raw right now.
I would love to see Aleister Black versus Randy Orton.
You might see that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think Aleister Black's going to fill the void of Jeff Hardy leaving. That edgy kind of character, and Hardy's going to take some time off soon. So
yeah, I think after Sunday he'll be taking some time off.
What's wrong with this? What's wrong with Matt Hardy?
By the way, Jeff Hardy is so flipping off this Hell in a Cell predictions. Anyway, Matt Hardy just run down.
Yeah, Matt's bones and his hips are starting to fuse together, so he's pretty much done.
Yep, that's it.
He's just working the last couple dates.
I shall return in 1 second.
And that's all they're going to do.
He's done with wrestling?
He's going to transition to a backstage role, I think is his goal.
Yep.
But yeah, they're ending things with his career. Yeah. He can't do it. He just can't do it anymore.
They're already training him. They love his ideas. Their position. Sorry, I had to plug the laptop in. They're transitioning him to become a producer, Dave.
Yeah.
Let's see where it takes him. He has a creative mind.
He's got a very creative mind. He's got a great mind for the business. I think he'll do well in that role.
I hate the fact that they never really executed the broken character, dude.
They couldn't.
I'm so disappointed with that shit.
They didn't have enough time. I agree. I would have been amazing. We got one House of Hardys match out of it. I mean,
I would have loved to see him. I would have loved to see him go through that transition again, like reboot the whole entire broken character. When he went through those stages. He was like, rich man, and then he was...
Big Money Matt. Yeah, I like Big Money Matt.
Speaking of which, by the way, they are rebooting one character on Monday Night Raw.
Who?
Follow the Buzzards.
Oh, yes. I did hear about that. They are rebooting Bray. I have something that ties into our predictions video for Hell in a Cell for that.
Okay. We'll leave it at that then. All right.
Yeah.
Next, so we've covered Ciampa. Next piece of news. I love that you brought up titles earlier because it sounds like they're actually on board to add a women's tag team title.
Yeah, if that Evolution list of matches is correct, they're going to be making that women's tag title.
There's three things
I'm good with that. I think they need it.
I agree too.
There's three things that needs to happen.
Yep.
With the women's thing. First off, just for me, where I see the disconnect in the women's wrestling right now is that they gave Ronda the title too soon.
Can't have her not have the title, but I'll let you.
No, that's fine. That's fine for her to have it.
I'll let you.
But it's just there's something about her character.
Go through the three, and then we'll talk each three of them. Go ahead. The first one is Ronda had the title too soon.
The first one is that the whole transition with Ronda. Then you have Charlotte as a champion again.
Okay.
And it's just right now so much. I don't want to say disconnect because it's working, but it's, to me, I guess the way I see wrestling is like, damn, it's so repetitive. The same thing on SmackDown, the same women's champion, and yet you have so much, better wrestlers like Asuka. You have Becky Lynch that hasn't won a fucking title in forever.
That's subjective, though, right? So
it's subjective. Subjectively looking at it, I just feel like Evolution can either make or break the entire women's roster.
Agreed.
I don't know.
And
I'm scared for that.
I'm going to tell you.
I'm really scared for that.
I'm going to cover your 3 points. So I'll start with the first one. Yes, Evolution can absolutely make the women's roster. It's basically going to give Ronda Rousey another title defense against Nikki Bella. Okay. Your first point, they gave Ronda the title too quickly. This show is about analyzing the business, right? I'm a business guy.
Right.
That was a sheer business move.
Totally.
Yeah.
They elevated their title by putting it on Ronda Rousey.
She's a legitimate combat sports athlete. If they didn't put it on her, it makes her look weak.
Absolutely.
And it just elevates their brand.
So title number one, that it was all about Ronda making WWE look more realistic. Option number two, you're tired of Charlotte as champion. I think you have to realize Charlotte is the Roman Reigns of the women's division.
Yep.
She's the ones that they either love or hate. She's the more natural heel. They were planning on that not being the case. But if there's anything good that has come from Charlotte being champion, it's that Becky will soon be champion. I don't know if they were planning that earlier, but Becky's going to be champion. Go ahead, buddy. Go. Take your 5.
All right. Be right back. Go again. Continue.
Take a 5. So Dave and I are going to discuss the tag team titles while Dave takes the obligatory P-Big.
Restroom break.
This is normally this used to be the woman's spot on the card until the women's evolution. And at this point, it is now whatever match comes before the main event, typically. So, true story. So now,
I think is what Dave was talking about though, with making or breaking with this Evolution pay-per-view. I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's going to break anything with this. I think what it will make or break is if they do a second All-Women's pay-per-view. If this doesn't go well, I don't know if they'll do that. I still think they're going to keep the tag titles. I think they're going to bring those in either way because they've got so many women. If they don't either have tag titles or like a
mid-card.
I saw Maria Kanellis tweet about bringing the Divas title back as a secondary belt, like an Intercontinental title belt, which apparently was what it was supposed to be originally.
That makes sense too. But I don't like you calling it the Divas title. I would do that.
That's fine too. I would call it the Divas title, but I'd bring in the secondary belt of some kind if it's not going to be the tag
But then
belts.
you have to do it on both brands too, right? I mean, you can't have one brand with it and not with the other. It becomes a kind of tricky scenario. I do think
that's why the tag belts are better.
I think there's 2 women that deserve the tag team titles.
Sasha and Bayley?
Has to be.
Yeah.
There's no one else.
I don't see how.
They basically have blocked Sasha and Bayley at every corner to becoming successful. Because Ronda is now ahead of them. You've got Ronda ahead of them. Ember Moon has come up and they've done nothing with her. You've got, obviously, Alexa, who carries a big spot with her as well. So you've got, like, 4 people before... Yeah, she's on SmackDown, though.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Asuka's being blocked by 2, Charlotte and Becky.
Yep.
Once that's done, Asuka's the person that eventually takes the title from Becky. But that's probably what's going to happen. Charlotte will fade out. I think Charlotte's going to get traded over to Raw at some point in time, and then it's going to be Charlotte and Becky on SmackDown. I mean, Asuka and Becky on SmackDown. And then
I would love to see that.
Not for nothing. I fucking love the Iconics.
Oh, I've been into those two since they started pairing on NXT. I think they're great. I don't know why they're being so underused.
They use them as like hecklers. They just come out, make fun, and then lose. WWE needs to stick to what their original programming used to do. The reason WWE was so successful in the mid-90s is they had defined jobbers. People understood who those jobbers were, and that when those jobbers came out, they were losing. Now, WWE thinks that they have to give you pay-per-view matches every single program, and then when you actually have a pay-per-view, the pay-per-view doesn't feel special because you've watched it 6 times. No.
Exactly.
I'd be fine watching Raw if Andrade Almas was wrestling Johnny Numbnuts, and, Sasha Banks was wrestling Sabrina No Nuts, right? I'd be fine with that. I think you have maybe one mid-card match where it's like you take a guy like Bobby Roode and you put him against a guy like Roman Reigns to be the main event, but then the rest of the card is filled with jobber versus big name.
Yeah, enhancement talent.
But the problem is they moved to 3 hours and they didn't know what the hell to do with themselves.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't really even do a 3-hour show with just a bunch of job guys. I mean, that would work. But when it was an hour, maybe even 2 hours, you could throw at least more of that in.
But this is why WWE is stupid, too.
I can still throw some.
But this is why WWE is stupid. Then you take a jobber, you put a jobber on the damn show, right? The guy gets cheered once, and you sign him in James Ellsworth. No. You keep those guys as jobbers. That's it. Dave.
Yeah.
So Dave, so here's what you missed while you were urinating.
No, I had to go outside. I don't know. I fucking heard somebody outside, like right outside my door, screaming.
You have a bathroom. You don't need to go pee outside.
No, I went into the bathroom and I literally heard somebody like right outside my door. So I go out to the door. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, why are you standing in your bathroom saying, what the fuck, Kyle? Am I making that up? Did you not just say I went into the bathroom?
No, I know. It went from he was just checking outside to he went to the bathroom and then checked outside.
No, because my front door, like I have a bathroom. I wish I could show you guys, whatever. I went to the restroom.
Okay, we believe you.
All right. This comedy segment was brought to you by Pro Wrestling Tees. No. All right. All right. So we've covered the women's evolution while there was a guy outside Dave's house. We were just talking about WWE programming and how we missed when it was more based on a main event talent fighting a jobber, and then the main event was like a mid-carder versus a mid-carder because it kept matches special for pay-per-views. That's kind of where we were talking about that. What else is there to talk about in the news, guys? Anything noteworthy?
None of that. I mean, we've tackled pretty much everything. The recruitment of one more.
One more.
The recruitment of Tama Tonga is trying to recruit.
Go for it, sir. And I have one
more.
more.
The firing squad.
Now, I think it's got to be Neville. I think with Taiji Ishimori saying it's going to be a tag team partner in the junior tournament, it's Neville. It's going to be Pac.
Do you want to know what match that creates? That's fucking super exciting. That I can't wait.
Did Neville change his name on the indie?
His indie's name was Pac. P-A-C.
Oh, like Pac, like Tupac.
Pac, yeah, I'm saying it wrong. So this is what you're gonna love. That I particularly love. If you're matching the Elite up against the OGs in current
I'll be right back.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, let's talk about Tama Tonga. I'm out. All right. If you're matching the Elite versus the OGs, right? Right now, that puts Pac against Marty Scurll.
Oh, I want that. That's one I want to see.
Badass. It puts Kenny against Tama. It puts Cody against Tongaloa. They don't have a tag team, so I don't know who lines up against the Bucks. It puts the Taiji Ishimori and Pac against the Bucks.
I could see them doing that too.
It could go that way also.
Yeah.
How about Cody?
There's a lot of combinations. I mean, they could even do something where one time they have Fale take on Kenny and God versus the Bucks. Like they're going to do God and the Bucks the G1 Supercard, aren't they, or something like that? Or in Long Beach. They're doing Long Beach.
How amazing would it be if just one time we saw Cody versus Haku?
Oh, I'd take that. I'd take that in a second.
Just because of the whole and what the fuck is Haku's problem? So the last.
Yes. Oh, I know. It's so good.
So the last part of this segment that I wanted to talk about is the NWA World Championship. They've got their 70th anniversary event, and you've got Cody versus Nick Aldis headlining the card. Do you think Cody flips the title back?
Oh, you know what? I have been doing a lot of debate on this. For a long time, I thought it was too... But then, the more I think about it, Cody's not signed to the NWA. I mean, maybe they just did it for that big moment, and now they're going to switch it back to Aldis and let him keep running with it. I don't want that, but I can see him doing it.
I think the NWA is stupid if they take the title off of Cody. They'd
be very stupid.
They've been getting, like, as much as I like Nick Aldis and I think he's an accomplished guy in the ring, he's not the guy to carry that brand. Cody is the guy to carry that brand. So
he'll build that brand.
He can
He'll
make
that.
He would. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why they would give it back to Aldis. I really don't. I can't see it.
What I don't understand is how do they get to be champions in so many different territories?
It's not that they're champions. So the NWA was built, the new NWA, Billy Corgan's NWA, was built on a similar premise to the original NWA. So the original NWA was built territorial. So they had different federations. You had the Mid-Atlantic, you had the Western, you had all these different federations, but they had one champion. And that champion traveled from territory to territory and defended his championship against that other talent, which is why this makes sense, because Cody's in Japan, he's in Ring of Honor, he's in NWA, he can travel, plus he's allowed to work any events in the UK as well. So you can put him in that role where he can defend everywhere except Impact Wrestling, which Aldis wasn't going to anyway, and I'm sure that Don Callis would be open to it if Cody wanted to do it. So,
oh yeah.
So
and I was going to say basically the end would become, instead of a title for all the territories, and now in a way, I guess they're making it a title,
breaking
champion of all the independents kind of thing.
That's exactly
what
it is. I see you now, sort of. There we go.
Am I messing up?
We're back. No, we're good.
No,
you broke it up. You said, but I heard what you said. You basically said you see it now as like the champion of the independents. And,
yeah, exactly.
And I couldn't agree more. That's exactly what it's come down to. I think that's what it is.
And I like that. I actually think it's really a cool concept.
Yeah,
and
but
if they have Cody
how would
running
you do
with
it,
though? I like it.
What do you mean?
It's all relying
one
upon
one champion for all territories.
It's not saying that those territories don't have their own championship.
Right, exactly. It's even back in the day, they all had their Mid-Atlantic champion or whoever.
Cody can go to Impact and lose that title to Sami Callihan.
Yes, theoretically he could go to
Impact
and lose that, but NWA is not going to give that title to anyone they don't want to give it to, right? So Cody could go around for years and not lose it to anybody. But what the NWA should be thinking about as a brand is you've got the 10 pounds of gold channel. The only reason people have watched it, are watching it, is because of Cody Rhodes. If you substitute,
that's why I started.
Me too. If you substitute,
I tried to watch it before they brought Cody in, and I wasn't feeling it.
No, neither was
I. I haven't watched an episode yet.
If you should watch,
I saw like the first episode when Cody first started going.
Go binge them.
I watched it, but I was like,
Go binge them. Leading up, it's amazing.
Match.
Like you see him versus Flip Gordon, you see like it literally builds it up. Now, here's my thought: they should not give that belt to anyone else unless that belt can either losing it to Cody elevates the star to Cody's level, or it's a star that's on the same level as Cody. So if you tell me that the NWA is going to give that title to Pentagon or Sami Callihan, I might say to you, that makes sense. But giving it to Nick Aldis, I'm sorry, no.
No, not again.
I like Nick Aldis, but not that much.
And I didn't even think about him getting the title back until I can't remember what podcast I listened to, but I heard them bring it up and saying, like, what if they put it back on him? And they gave some reasons. I'm like, wow, they could do that, but I don't know. I think they would have just kept it on him. If they were going to put the belt on him, I think they would have just kept it on him.
Agreed. Well, guys, I think we've covered a lot of the news.
Yes.
So this episode or this segment, which was brought to you by no one, because we'll have a sponsor someday, I promise. But this segment of Around the Wire, which is something that we'll plan to keep going for you every couple of weeks, will be a continued theme on the channel. We're also going to have the guy above me. I feel like I'm in that Brady Bunch thing.
Oh, I know, right?
Did that just look like it? Kyle, you're looking at me. Oh, you don't see it the way I see it. Okay. So,
well, the way you guys are on mine is Dave's on top and you're on bottom, and I'm in this little corner on the top right.
Okay, so that's how he likes it. Go like this?
Yeah, exactly. Now you're looking up at Dave. That was good.
All right. So with that, guys, that is it for this segment. Again, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to the channel. Coming up this month, we're going to have another couple of segments in this sit-down that we're having right now. We're also going to have another couple of unboxings. Kyle has brought Dirty Dutch to the table, so we're going to sit down with Dutch Mantel. We're going to sit down with the owner of Pro Wrestling Tees, who I have to talk to because my schedule ran over today. But with that, I bid you
Future Legend as well. Future Legend Apparel. We're going to have the owner of Future Legend Apparel on soon.
So much.
And hopefully from there we could get more people on the show for you guys.
And if you want to get some people on the show and have us interview them, learn a little bit more about them, feel free to tweet them and let them know. So that's huge and helpful of support of us. We want to be the show that you guys come to for not just regurgitated garbage about what happened at an event. We want to be the show that you come to that teaches you about the industry, gives you some thought-provoking content, and lets you take your opinions to the next level. And hey, who knows? Maybe one day I've talked about it before, but we'll do a town hall debate where there's 70 of us on here. We don't care. Walls are fucking open. Whatever you want, we're here, guys. So with that, subscribe to the channel. Click the like button on this video. It's a huge help. Anything you could do to support us. We're just a couple of wrestling fans trying to do our thing. I bid you adieu. Until next time. Signing out.
Peace.